People want stronger relationships, they want stronger communities, and they want their kids to succeed in sports. This podcast is a place for honest conversations, real stories, and practical guidance, all centered on helping kids grow through sports. If you're looking for stronger relationships, stronger community, and athletes who grow not just in skill, but in character, you're in the right place. Welcome to From the Sidelines, the Youth Sports Foundation podcast. Today, we're hearing from Lindsay Phillips about what youth sports looks like from a parent's perspective, the wins, the pressures, and how families can keep sports positive, fun, and developmentally right for kids. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the podcast, the From the Sidelines Youth Sports Foundation podcast. Welcome back. Today's guest is Lindsay Phillips. She is the president of the Muscatine School Board, located right here in the Midwest in Iowa. And she is also director of the Big Brothers Big Sisters. Lindsay and her husband Tyson have two boys, and they play a lot of youth sports, not just in YSF, but also Little League Baseball and basketball. And I think they even do wrestling. So they do it all, let me tell you. Lindsay is a great mom. She's a great youth sports mom, and we're excited to have her on the podcast today to just talk about what it's like being a youth sports parent. So, Aaron, I'm excited to get Lindsay on here. Hi, Lindsay. How are you?
Good.
Good. Welcome. Welcome to the podcast. Lindsay, I just introduced you to our audience, being the school board president, being director of Big Brothers Big Sisters, but most importantly, being a mom to two young athletes. And you and your husband, Tyson, your kids are in everything. They play all kinds of sports. Do they even swim? Do they swim as well?
One wanted to swim.
Okay.
But he doesn't now.
Okay.
He realized he doesn't have time for that. Swimming is a commitment. It's a big deal.
Yeah,
So.
It is. So, welcome. And we want to talk to you today what it's like to be a youth sports parent, the struggles, the benefits, all that good stuff. So we're just going to get right into it. Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah.
You got the first question.
I get the first one. So I got the mom lens. Thanks, Jim. You are super involved as a mom, and I know that having your kids in athletics is really important, but that's not the only thing that's important. So when you think about youth sports, is it more about fun, development, community, or maybe a mix?
Oh gosh, all of the above.
Wait.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a mix. I think you want your kids to belong somewhere. Nothing hurts a mom heart more than if they feel rejected or maybe uncertain of themselves or their path. And so that's what sports has done for our kids, along with other things. But it's really just kind of helped them figure out who they are and the community that they have around them.
I love that.
Wow. Awesome. You didn't know you were going to get quizzed. That was a hard question to start off the podcast. I mean, wow.
I knew she could answer it.
We're jumping right in.
Geez, I tell you, and she answered it perfectly. So my question to you is, being the school board president, how do you think youth sports complements our students today in school?
We're always looking from a school perspective, from an organization perspective, community. What are you involved in? Because we know that the more kids are involved in, the more likely they are to succeed in other areas. So that's just something that I think data is proving to us all the time. But I also think, too, there's an accountability layer there. And this might kind of merge with that mom hat, or even just my husband coaches. But I think when you're held accountable to a high standard in the classroom, on the field, or on a court, or in a wrestling room, you're just overall, you want to be a better person and you apply yourself really well. So we're teaching responsibility, accountability, and that sometimes things are hard and we just keep going. Practice makes perfect, but practice, it's not always easy. So.
Not always easy. Boy, that's for sure. That is for sure. Aaron, you're up.
This is kind of fun. I'm like, what
I
are you
got the tough
ask?
ones. Yeah. I mean, I'm here with my notebook taking notes because Lindsay's this amazing mom and I'm just starting out. So I'm like, okay, what do I do?
She is an amazing mom.
Listen, every day is a new phase and we're just constantly learning how to parent. So
hey, I think
you've
figured it out. It is. It's like learning alongside your kid.
We're
that
figuring
really is
it
what
out.
it is.
Your
think
boys
so.
are awesome. I'm just gonna
Oh,
tell you, they
thank
really
you.
are. So
They're pretty good.
Yeah. So, Lindsay, you'd mentioned that your husband has coached with YSF in the past. I want to bring you back to when you started or when you were introduced to YSF. What stood out to you as far as the organization? Yeah.
Yeah. So YSF has just I feel like it's ingrained. It was just part of if you marry Tyson, you love YSF. So my father-in-law actually coached back when my husband played YSF. So that
yeah,
makes
Wow.
Jim old.
it makes me.
Um,
Yeah,
Aw.
but
that's right.
so Tyson was a YSF kid first, and then before we even met, he was coaching YSF. So the minute he got done playing, finished high school, he loved football and he started coaching a team then. And so kind of took a break from that. He came back to coaching when we had our kids at that age. So it's just really been part of it. And Tyson screams fundamentals
He
and
does.
that without fundamentals, competition, it's not sustainable. So you might be
Right.
on top today, but if you haven't learned the basics, then that's going to sizzle out. Everyone's going to catch up, right? So he's really that's been a motto, I guess, in our house. Like you got to go back to the basics, fundamentals, prevent injuries. So it's just I don't know, it's ingrained. We love
Yeah,
YSF.
Yeah, that's smart.
he's a great coach.
So, for people who are new to this podcast, that stands for the Youth Sports Foundation, and we are located in the Midwest. We started out in Muscatine, Iowa, and now we're in over 138 communities and counting.
Yeah, yeah, very good. I got kind of a tough question, and this is not a question to cut down any other programs. You've been involved in a lot of programs, but as a parent, what feels different about the Youth Sports Foundation to all the other programs that you've experienced?
Yeah.
Maybe it's good,
So
maybe it's bad.
think that the goal of every program your kids are in is meeting them where they're at and appropriately challenging them. So YSF for us has been a really great way to and depending on the sport, right?
Sure,
So
right. Yeah,
I think it's been a really great way for us to be like, here, like we said before, here are the fundamentals. Here's how you're going to grow with this program. And it's going to be focused on that development, on the fun, and what comes next. There's this really nice handoff with YSF that it's like, okay, we've taught you the basics. You've fallen in love with the sport. And now we're going to hand you to somebody else and they're going to take it to another level, right? But it sets you above the bar, I think, and you're ready to go. Other programs that we've been a part of too, whether it's a different sport and so it's still that developmental focus, like equally great. When you get into more of a competition level, or, my kids will give wrestling an example because that's something we have both of. It's just a different expectation too. So my kids love wrestling. They've started in the Muskie Wrestling Club or now as the YSF Wrestling because those merged together. And then when they were ready and feeling really confident, they took it on to, I would say, the next level.
I would
And the
100%. Yeah,
and the pressure builds. So I would say one of the negative parts of that is you kind of start streamlining and the pressure on you builds a little bit too. So it's a different commitment and you have to be ready for that. Equally, they both have great benefits, but sometimes they come with the pressure. It's a lot
yeah,
for kids.
sure. Yeah,
So,
it is moving from YSF to different programs,
mhm,
whether it be the junior high, the wrestling.
yep,
It. I don't want to say it's a step up. It's competition is a step up. Your requirement to maybe win goes up more
sure.
from
I
YSF.
think,
So
yeah, I mean, for the kids, they're there to win no matter what, right? They're
100%.
they're
Yeah.
there and they're
Yep.
ready and they're the best. And they're like, that's their goal and ambition, whether you're third and fourth grade playing flag football or whether you're tackle football, they're there to win and be their best. But I think when all of a sudden, I have a junior high student, he's going to be a freshman next year. So he's going to
Wow.
start football
Jeez.
workouts. So yeah, I think when he got to middle school, he was like, and maybe he'll tell me I'm wrong, but my mom observation is that he was like, I'm ready. I'm confident. Like, I'm going to wear this musky jersey with pride. And so I think that that's how he showed up. And he wouldn't have done that if he didn't have the opportunity. So that's kind of like that next level. It's
Yep.
complementary.
Yes. Nice.
I love that.
Nice.
I'm going to jump in with continuing that conversation about opportunity.
Uh-huh.
And it might take you some time to think back, but can you think about one specific example where the Youth Sports Foundation has provided, whether it's one of your kids or another kid, a family, an opportunity that you think, wow, that's it right there. That just tells everybody that's what YSF is all about.
I can think of a couple examples, and neither of them are my kids, but things that I've observed. And I could
Awesome.
tell you a lot for my kids too, right?
Yeah.
But so just this last fall, I actually did not have a kid in the tackle football program. We utilized the flag football program. He's going to do tackle next. I don't know. That might be a question next, but so I'll hold up. But we were there watching one of the fifth and sixth grade tackle football games. And there was another a player, right? Amazing athlete. I don't want to say too much because there's a lot of people that don't know who I'm talking about.
Sure.
I do. But all of a sudden, like, here comes the coach, and he's coach. That's his connection. And he comes up and he's like, I got you these cleats. Like, I thought of you. I want you to have these cleats. And I don't think he needed to. It was just that he was like, I've got my eye on you. I want you to succeed. The kid's foot is like probably bigger than all of ours put together. I mean, and the coach is so invested in him and sees so much potential that he's like, I saw these. I thought of you. You got to have these on you. You know?
How
And
awesome is that?
That's
it's
amazing.
awesome.
That
Yeah.
is
And
awesome.
so it doesn't even have to be in gift giving. Sometimes I think, there's a boy that hangs out at a lot of the programs and doesn't always have an opportunity to be in a leadership role. And not only is he participating, but on camp days, he's handing out popsicles. So everyone else is seeing him then as
Yeah.
somebody that is helpful and a leader that maybe doesn't always get shown in that light. So
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm
That's the best.
excited. I'm in the Big Brother Big Sister program,
yes.
and my little brother's going to play tackle football this year, and I think he'll fit in. So,
Yeah, I think so.
so, um, what's one thing you wish more parents understood about coaching kids and letting them develop at their own pace? I feel like you and Tyson have really done a great job with your boys of doing that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a lesson that, I still haven't learned, but I know that I need to. And we don't need perfection from them.
Yep.
And
Right.
so I think the minute I just said to my kid yesterday, he's got baseball practice tonight. And he was like, ugh. And I said, listen, the minute this isn't fun for you, what are we doing?
Right.
Like,
Yep.
I don't want this to be. And he was like, what? Not dreading it. But I think we get into a routine with activities that we want our kids to be busy and then we want them to be good at it because we think if they're great at it, then that equals them loving it. And and sometimes they just want to show up and they want to hang
And
out with
just
their
play.
friends.
They just
They
want
just
to
want
play.
to play.
They just want
Yeah.
to play.
And so sometimes as parents, we just have to be like, instead of I say all the time, hey, be the hardest worker in the room. And then I'm like, also have fun. So I think that I don't know how you balance it, honestly. But I think as parents too, when we're on the sidelines and we see the coaches and maybe the drill looks more like dodgeball than it looks like single legs.
Sure.
But maybe that's okay sometimes because once you have that team building and you become somebody that they can play together, then I think they can become competitive together and they trust each other. So we're building teams and people, and it's hard to step back.
It
So,
is hard. It's hard. I see parents sometimes pushing their kid to be
mhm.
something at their age group better than what they are. It's like just
Yeah,
let them develop. They're in fifth
yeah,
grade. See what they are when they're in eighth grade.
yes.
Just relax.
But I think it's easy, our community struggles sometimes too, and I think it's a direct reaction to how we push and the pressure that we put on, and unintentionally because we really do
Right.
have the best interest at heart.
Right.
But
Yep.
sometimes we're burning them out, and then we get to our high school programming, and our numbers are gone, and the kids are tired. They didn't feel like they met our expectations, and so
Right.
maybe they're out. I don't know. I'm not going to solve the sports
Yeah.
problem, but I think there's a lot to it.
I'm going to take this opportunity to do a shameless plug for the Youth Sports Foundation values because they are fun, fundamentals, and opportunity. So I think what you're saying really just encompasses that perfectly. And that leads me into my next question about giving your kids voice when it comes to sports they want to be involved in. And how do you have those conversations? What advice do you have for parents on, hey, I want to hear what my kid has to say. How do I start that conversation?
They're not you and they're not their siblings. So
Mm,
we've had this in our house. So winter sports in our house equaled wrestling. And it was just kind of our oldest kid he followed that path too. And so we just got comfortable there.
yeah.
And then we realized that our youngest, he loves wrestling, but that's not where he wanted to spend his time. He really wanted to give a go to basketball. So this year
Cool.
was funny. And so Tyson's like, I don't like, no, like courts have mats on them. I don't even know how to help you with this. But it's
Right.
okay. And so we had to be like, you are your own person. We're here for you to try something
Yeah.
new and now mom and dad both sit in the bleachers, which is kind of fun. So yeah,
Nice.
I think you just got it. And honestly, it's one season. I am a firm believer that if you commit to a team or an activity, you
Yeah.
finish that commitment out, finish that season. But it's okay if it's not for you. And that's a decision you have to make.
Yeah,
So
100%. I agree 100% with you there. The question I have, how important do you think safe spaces like Big Brothers Big Sisters and the Youth Sports Foundation are to kids today, and how important do you think those safe spaces are, Big Brothers and Youth Sports, for these kids to be able to come and just experience?
yeah, we don't know what you don't know, right? And it's really hard to envision yourself somewhere if you've never seen it or if you've never been part of it. And so I think we see it in even our professional athletes that they were given this opportunity because of somebody they met or a program that they were in, whether it's Big Brothers Big Sisters, the Boys and Girls Club, they were YMCA kids, right? We give them an opportunity to start envisioning themselves somewhere, and then it gets so much bigger than that. So I think they're extremely important. I also think those connections, like Jim, you said your little brother is going to play tackle football. That's going to give him somewhere to be, somewhere to belong. He's going to make a whole new set of friends, and his community just got a lot bigger. And that's the goal.
Well, that's really important for him that he gets involved in this. And I mean, he's got a football body. I'm excited to see what he does on the field. But yeah, I think you're right. It is just giving kids a space to be comfortable, safe, and experience. And that's truly what Big Brothers Big Sisters does. You guys do a fantastic job, and I want to
Thank you.
promote you a lot because of what you've done. The connections that you guys have made with kids in the Mustang community have been outstanding, and it's given us adults a fun, good little person to hang out with once a week. So,
Uh, so if you could think of the ideal youth sports experience for a kid in Muscatine, right? Because that's sort of our hub.
Yeah.
What would that look like? I mean, you have kids who are involved in a lot of things.
Yeah. I think that it's evolved a little bit, right? Football is an example I go to because I have two boys. I'm sure volleyball looks very similar. They have those structures. I know there's
sure.
track and field too. So lots of different opportunities, but I know the wrestling and the football world for YSF and cheerleading. You guys have all of those. So I think, again, the nice thing about YSF and what I would say is ideal that you're exposing them early with short seasons
Yep.
Yeah, right.
so that,
Yeah,
it's not year round programming. And
no,
I think that that's really important for them to explore and decide what their interests are, and then take a break to reflect and then be ready for next time or that. I don't want to say next level. I don't know, next step, if that's what they choose, or maybe they're
Right.
graduating, right? We graduate kids through, and it's kind of like that tiered approach that you can start here at whatever level you want, whether that's tackle football in third or fourth grade, or we're going to go a little bit more no contact and learn what it looks like. Let's do some flag football. And that has been growing and great. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's super necessary to put that in there. And but it's a challenge to some of our upper level coaches too, because they
sure.
might have some more skills to teach that they hadn't in the
That's right.
past.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yep.
point.
Yeah.
But I think if we're all on the same page in developing kids at the appropriate pace for them, then we're going to have lifelong athletes. And that's what we need to do.
That is a great answer. I think you hit it on the nail. We all have to be in this together. Yeah, they're your child, they're your children, but if I'm a coach, together with the parents and the coach, we're instructing these players to be better at their own pace. And know
Yes.
that just because he may not be a very good quarterback right now doesn't mean he won't be when he's in high school. And we always like to have our kids in youth sports enjoy our season and be sad it's over, because it is a pretty short season. And once it's over, move on to the next sport and be excited for this football season to come back around.
Yeah.
That's
I
our
think
goal.
so. I would give a warning to some parents too. I think we have, because you said quarterback, and I think we have a lot of kids that were like, "Who's quarterback?" And everyone, me, I'm the quarterback. And sometimes there are limitations in youth sports, and we have to, like, they lead with safety and things like that. So your kid might walk onto a YSF field and you're going to hear, "Oops, sorry, bud, you're a lineman."
Right.
You
Exactly.
know?
Yeah. And that's
Encourage them to stick with it. I think that sometimes kids get discouraged because there are weight restrictions or there are different builds that you have to have. And during practice, the kids are still having the opportunity to learn all of those positions,
right.
but come game time, there are rules, right? And I think the kids and parents can get a little discouraged or just feel like it's not the right thing for their kids. And then that mindset sticks. And so I would encourage all of those parents that even they're going to change so
They
much.
are
Like,
going to
look at your
change.
kid
Yep.
5 years ago to
That's
today.
right.
So have them fall in love with something about the game and not what they're doing on Sunday,
Well, what
right?
I say to a parent is, if your kid's a lineman in youth sports, ends up being a quarterback or running back in the upper grade levels, he's got to know exactly what his linemen are going through because he experienced it at the youth
Yeah.
level. And
Yep.
and I'm sorry, you talk to any football coach, and Tyson would agree with me if he was sitting there with you. Games are won in the trenches, and that's the line between defense or offensive line. Those linemen, there's a reason why pro quarterback at Christmas give their linemen gifts because they know how
Yeah.
important they are. So,
Yeah. And
you
who
know,
wants the pressure of being the quarterback? No,
not me. I never
every
did.
kid. I would not either. But I do think that that's important. And I think when the coaches can work to make those positions stand out and celebrate every position, then you have a team.
You
And so
betcha. Yeah.
that's good.
Well, Lindsay, we appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate you being the kind of youth sports parent that we love. You're encouraging, you're positive, and you're always there for your kids, and we thank you for that. So
If you sit next to me in a game and I don't behave that way, we're
don't
all a
worry.
work in progress.
Don't worry, sister. I've got your back. If you're not behaving, I'm
Hey,
kicking you out.
all right,
So,
I'll leave. No,
and Tyson would probably give me a couple bucks to kick you out just to see mom being escorted out of there.
probably. Right? We're all learning, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. And what a great guest she was to come on here and talk about her experience with Youth Sports Foundation. We want to thank our sponsor. We couldn't do this podcast without them.
CBMS is proud to be a continuing sponsor of YSF. For more than 45 years, we've helped both consumers and their lenders navigate the loan closing process. Our focus on trust and long-term relationships aligns perfectly with everything YSF stands for. And we are honored to support this podcast and YSF's mission for all of our kids.
We did have a question come in from a mom in Waterloo. The mother from Waterloo asked, what is too much for your child to have as sports goes at one time? How many sports can they handle at one time? Well, that's going to go to each parent's individual decision. But I truly feel that your kid, if they can handle two sports, that means making practice for both and making games for both. That's great. But honestly, in my opinion, one sport at a time. Let them enjoy a sport. If it's baseball season, they play baseball. Football season, you play football. Basketball, you play basketball. Again, that's just my opinion, but I think we're trying to get kids too involved. I think we need to let our kids have fun and enjoy the sport that they're playing right now.
If you're enjoying From the Sidelines, please subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And we'd love to hear from you. Send your questions or story ideas to the Youth Sports Foundation through our social media or the link in our show notes. Thanks for being here.